Tommy Robinson, Andrew Tate, and, wait for the finale, Nigel Farage. Well, they are all part of the manosphere that they are. Yes, I did say Nigel Farage. I know, he's not that manly. No, actually, he's not manly at all, is he? No. But he did take his shirt off once while singing to that song by A Right Said Fred. I'm too sexy for my shirt. He showed us his nipples. That he did, yeah. And his two hairs. Sexy. He's no Sean Connery. No, not that one. But he did say that he is like the British Andrew Tate, didn't he? That's what Nigel Farage thought, yeah. Influencing young men. Yes. Indoctrinating our youngsters that they are. Well, the thing is about these people, they are all the biggest cowards out there. You've got Tommy Robinson, who's in jail at the moment. Yeah, he was jailed last October for 18 months. Well, he's complaining, yeah. He's complaining because he's been put into segregation after he had a hot lunch. If you know what I mean. Okay, I don't know if he had a hot lunch, but anyway, he might have picked the soap up. He's at risk of being split in two. Or beaten up, or something. So they put him in segregation. And he has, well, complained, He's complained, said, I don't want to be in segregation. I want to get out of my little room. Well, last time he was in a prison, he complained because there was no TV, it weren't working. He's got to work on TV and he's still fucking complaining. Okay, you're going to get Bible studies once a week, but you know, that's how it is, isn't it? You know, if you are of the manosphere, you must be of evangelical. That you must. No, the thing about these people, you see, like Andrew Tate, who's fled back to Romania. Yeah, his court cases over there. He's also going to have court cases in the United States, in New York. Yeah. Because he's a sex offender, you see, alleged sex offender. You know, even the United Kingdom won't get hold of him because of sex offences. Lovely people. But why Romania? If he stayed in the United States, he probably would have got pardoned. Yeah, he might have got pardoned by Donald Trump, the president, dum-dum, of the United States. Yeah, he might have got pardoned. But, you know, no, went back to Romania. Well, the thing about Donald Trump, though, you see, he does like to put all the alleged and adjudicated sex offenders around him. He loves to be surrounded, makes me feel comfortable because he's one himself. Grab him by the pussy, he said. Yeah, that's what he said. Well, Donald Trump just recently had a adjudicated sex offender in the White House, yeah. Gave him cuddles and all sorts, yeah. Hugged he was, yeah. To some sort of kickboxer geezer. Yeah, another kickboxer geezer. Well, Conor McGregor, the Irishman, he found himself in the White House. He was invited, you see, to meet up with Donald Trump. Well, he just got convicted. Adjudicated he was as a sex offender, a rapist. An actual rapist. He didn't just grab them by the pussy, no. No. He is a rapist. Well, I hate to repeat this, but Conor McGregor is... well, he's so awful. And he has zero respect for women. He's even got a kid now, poor little blighter. Yeah. Well, he raped this girl so hard, along with his buddy Lawrence. He raped her so hard, she had to have a tampon surgically removed. And these are the people that these young men are aspiring to. Make excuses for. But you see, it's all part of this. A manosphere. Where young men, they feel like it's a place of sanctuary. Where they can be misogynistic to women and girls. That they feel that they too have a right to abuse them, to rape them. You see, there is the 100% emoji. Yeah, it's like a special code, an emoji code, where they got the 100%. You've probably seen it. What it means is the 80-20 rule, meaning that 80% of the women only like or fancy 20% of the men. And what they mean by that? Well, they mean that you're going to have to take it if you are a part of the 80% of the men left. You're going to have to take it, which means you're going to have to rape. You're going to have to use force. You're going to have to use so-called strength. That's what Andrew Tate is about. Indoctrinating the young. Then there's all the other little emojis, like the coffee bean, like the exploding dynamite. It's all about incel, you see. Well, I didn't know any of this stuff until I watched a documentary. Well, it's actually a programme, it's not a documentary. It's like a documentary. It's been filmed in a way that was it's quite informing on procedures, police procedure. And this particular Netflix series called Adolescence, I suggest that everybody watches this. And if you are a parent, you must watch it. You seriously must watch it. Or even if you've got grandchildren. Anybody, in fact. Because it opens your eyes to what is actually happening. Now, this series was about a family that literally gets torn apart as an effect of the manosphere and as a result of people like Andrew Tate. You see, the manosphere is like a collection of different places to go, different sites, podcasts, etc. They're all part of this so-called manosphere that are indoctrinating young men to pretty much be rapists, to disrespect women, to have so-called power, take control of their own lives and stuff like that. And that's where the truth becomes the most dangerous truth of all, because they use truth to disguise the lies within the manosphere. And young men who are hormonal, going through puberty and all that, they are susceptible. Because, I was young once, and we had one thing on our mind. Girls! You have to be honest about that. That's all we cared about is girls, yeah. Or whatever your preference might be. You see, we can joke about that sort of stuff, but what we can't joke about is this place that they feel they can go, where they can be empowered to be misogynists, to abuse women. And this particular programme, Adolescence, which is basically about a family, the father who's getting complete and utter distress, he feels he's failed, he probably has to some degree. The mother feels that she's failed, probably has to some degree. The daughter is kind of in the middle of it all and holding the family together because the son has just murdered a young girl. Murdered a young girl because of gaining that moment of power. Because he was angry. Angry because he was rejected. And that's what all this manosphere is all about. It's what Andrew Tate is about. Indoctrinating youngsters into this mental quagmire. Any young bloke, any bloke who was young at one time, I'm sure we all were at one time, will know what I mean. If we're honest with ourselves, we too were, hormonal. I think around being misogynistic and attacking young girls to the point of being so distressing and murdering them, or raping them, or anything like that. But that's where these platforms, these manosphere platforms, are so dangerous. And that's why we must have some level of control as well. Because these young men are potentially the future adults as well. We have to remember that. Who will then go on and forth, have children of their own, maybe, or maybe even rape someone. Then anyway, end up the situation. And it gets passed on. So it needs to be nipped in the bud. And at the moment, it's more like removing a pretty hefty, sticky blast and go cold turkey. Now, my feeling is, we need to stop children having access to these smartphones or computers in their bedrooms and stuff like that. And if they are going to have access to the internet, it needs to be where other people are. Not allowing them to be in their bedrooms and constantly messaging their friends and watching things like Andrew Tate and people like that. That kind of Ben Shapiro kind of crap, you know. It's going to be it was going to be tough, because you see, children are how to put, they'll nag the parents, and the parents generally are weak, and they give in. How many parents do you know will just stick kids in front of a tablet to shut them up, just so they can play on their tablets or phones or whatever? Now, my granddaughter, young Grace, she went into school just yesterday. That's what inspired this video. And her friend asked her, "Have you got a smartphone?" And she said no, because she hasn't. She's only 7 years old. And this little girl with her smartphone, and they say, "Well, you're a bit weird here, aren't you?" You see, these kids are going on sites like Instagram and Snapchat. They don't do Facebook generally, but, you know, all those platforms that allow them to quickly and easily upload content and delete it if they want to. And some of it it's time-related that gets deleted anyway. It's extremely damaging. It really is. And we have to wake up to it. If we don't, we are heading for... Well, we're already in there, I think, because the damage has already been done with a lot of our youngsters. Get so much online bullying, and it's just too easy to propagate and share and spread. And kids being kids, they could be nasty. They could be vicious, mean, and not just on one occasion is progressive. And it's all about getting the fix. That kind of adrenaline, you know, the hormones and stuff, and it empowers them. And when they get a reaction, they always go a step further, more extreme. Their own inhibitions have been, well, softened. The boundaries become further away, and to the point where they do some extreme act. What do you reckon? Because I've got a question for you, and that question is, should we just remove these, try and get the parents to remove these smartphones, like going cold turkey, removing that sticky plaster from these children? Should it be a case that it should be mandated in law? Especially not not to have these devices in school. I feel that we need to be taking, my personal feeling is we need to be taking extreme measures. But also we need to be putting the responsibility on the platforms to make it so it's almost impossible for our youngsters to have accounts. Some kind of IDing process for which they have to abide by every time they access the platform. They won't do it, though. The platforms won't do it because they're making too much bloody money, you see. And now you've got Donald Trump, who's also causing problems in the sense that he wants them to have a free-for-all. And they've all gone up to Donald Trump and kissed his chocolate starfish that they have. Mark Zuckerberg's and Jeff Bezos's, the whole lot of them. So I don't see it getting any better anytime soon. But please, answer down below. If you want to support the channel, you can do it on Patreon or buy us a coffee, links down below. And I couldn't do the channel without your support, I really couldn't. But also, please just boot the old like button and let us know how you feel about this topic. And watch that. If you've got access to it, it's on Netflix. It's called Adolescence. It is an eye-opener, and it's extremely well done. It really is. Toodaloo.